Court has been present during the presentation of evidence throughout the entirety of the trial. A jury has unanimously determined, after listening to the evidence presented, that you, Anthony John Todt, are a destroyer of worlds, that you destroyed the world of your 4-year-old daughter, Zoe Elizabeth Todt, that you destroyed the world of your 10-year-old son, Tyler John Todt, that you destroyed the world of your 13-year-old son, Alexander John Todt, that you destroyed the world of your wife, Megan Denise Todt. The jury has unanimously determined that you murdered each of them with premeditation based on the evidence presented in this room.
Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, guys. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. Let's get to it.
Case of the State of Florida versus Anthony John Todt, 2020 CF 149, based on the jury's unanimous verdict as to all counts. The court will now proceed to sentencing. Does the state wish to present any testimony from the surviving victim's family?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will call Cynthia.
Thank you.
My condolences go out to the family first and foremost, and RIP to the victims. I don't know, did you guys remember this case right here? I came across it and I was following it for a hot second, and this guy, he's a family annihilator, and he's very cocky, very arrogant, very narcissistic, and he actually took the stand in this trial. When I first came across it and seen him on the stand, I didn't know that he had killed his family by the way that he was testifying in his behalf. It seemed like he was up there for something very trivial. That's how he treated his testimony to me. Like, he was very defensive, and like they say, you know, it's on the state to prove your guilt. I don't know why this guy took the stand. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea. But later on in this clip, you'll see how this guy thinks that he can just talk his way up out of this situation, which is a horrible situation where he killed his wife and three kids, and I believe they were 13, 10, and 7. That's you know, those are not babies. So 13-year-old, I mean, those are not babies. And I believe that he gave these guys Benadryl or something like that makes them makes you go to sleep or something like that. But we're gonna get back into this trial. Into this. He's already been sentenced, so we're gonna get back into the story and see where it goes from here.
Kids very, very much, and all I have is pictures and memories I can hold in my heart. And my parents miss them, and his parents miss them, and our families miss them very, very much. That's it, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Thank you for listening to me.
Any additional survivor family victim statements? Does the defense care to give any statements prior to sentencing?
Do you want to address the court? You want to address the court? Shall we come to the lectern?
He can address the court from counsel table.
Okay, guys, check him out. Here you go. He about to get ready. He about to get up here and address the court. Check how narcissistic this guy is. Check him out. Check him out.
This was a personal
talk his way up out of here.
catastrophe in everybody's life in my family, including myself. I maintain my innocence. I provided for my wife, did everything I could for my wife. She was progressively sick over the years. There were days which were worse, days which were better. She was kept on a pedestal from me. My kids I did everything for them. The weight gain, Ms. Kopko has said, was because I negated myself. 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night because I would be treating my wife, doing for my wife, flying back and forth. I appreciated her medical concerns, and the reason why I would call so much is because Megan would have bad days, and I just needed to know she was okay. It wasn't a control factor. It wasn't any kind of scoping things out or whatnot. It was my fear that my fear that something was wrong with her, and I just needed to hear her voice making sure she was okay. I loved my wife. I loved my children. I was not there the night my children died.
Yeah, you were. You were there.
The kids and my wife woke up.
Case over with. He's still trying to explain the case. He's already been
Sorry.
sentenced, guys. He's been
The
sentenced.
Friday
and he's
before
still
all
trying to
this
explain.
happened, we got in a disagreement, and I begged her to
And
go
I know
get
you-
help
I know you guys don't know,
because she screamed at my son because he didn't do the pot.
he's
clean
trying to
the
say
pot.
that
He
his
had
wife
soaked from
stabbed
my
herself.
instructions.
He came home and found the
This has
kids
been a
dead,
progressive
right?
history since the miscarriage.
And his
For
wife
anger
stabbed
issues, for
herself.
frustration issues, and it was directed
But
mostly
he never
at me.
called the police.
And I took it. It's okay, because she held me partly responsible for getting her sick initially because I insisted she went to the hospital. I told her after she finally decided to schedule a doctor's appointment on the Thursday after Thanksgiving, she canceled it. I found that out the night before. When she screamed at Tyler, the Friday the 13th, I told her that she has to the end of the month to see a doctor because she went to the alternative and spiritual and all this other route. Or I would get her aunt and my sister involved. After that, she once again held it quiet in public. Okay? She was very good at keeping it from the public. We went to the recital that they did for the convalescent home on the 13th.
Have you noticed he hasn't
I was
said
walking
anything
on
about the kids?
eggshells. I don't like upsetting my wife. My wife was primary and foremost in my life, especially after she got sick.
That don't
Finally,
make sense, right?
whatever day it was, and I apologize, I do not have the days because I was on a winter break. I went up to her one night and said, listen, I haven't treated you in a couple days. Just allow me to treat you. Allow me to work on you. And I tried a couple different techniques. As I was working, she was worried about me not loving her anymore. And I told her, no, the footprints. Remember the footprints poem?
Look at this.
Sometimes
He's so
you don't
corny.
think I'm
Check this
there,
out. He's
but
talking
I'm the
about
one
footprint
carrying you.
prone.
I will do whatever you need to get ready. That's why I
Nah,
supported
bro.
you. She knew I didn't believe in this light
I wish I
and
could have
this
showed you some of
other
this,
religion that she went
some of him
into.
on the stand.
But I
he-
supported her because that's
this
what a
dude right
husband
here,
does.
he's
Everybody
real
has a
corny. I
freedom
know-
to choose their
you
own
can tell
religions.
that he did it,
Everybody
right?
has a freedom to choose their own acts. She fell asleep, very rested comfortably.
I'm surprised they let him talk this long.
I couldn't sleep. I went downstairs. Okay?
Look at the lawyer.
I-
Look at the lawyer. Tell him.
Doesn't have the
Look
authority
at
that
check him
would
out.
be
No, I
jury
understand, but I need to let him know that everything was okay when she woke up the next morning.
You're not talking
I kept
your
the
way
kids
out of
out day
this.
to keep outside to keep her nice and stress-free. That's the only reason I left to go to the condo that night, because everything was good and there was an opportunity to get things done. As Ms. Kopko said, I fell asleep at a drop of a hat. I have this weight off my shoulders that my wife was feeling great. I went to charge the phone, and I fell asleep.
Now he said that
I
after.
woke up afraid to be on eggshells or the doghouse again because we just reconciled. I ran back because I could not get the car started. It turns out my seat was too far back. And after that, everything happened. And I lived nothing but a nightmare. Every single suicide attempt, every single nightmare would come out.
Everything's about him.
I relived every nightmare, would wake up and would see,
Why didn't you call the
I was
police?
like, oh, that's a nightmare.
Why didn't you call an
would
ambulance?
see my family dead. I progressively tried to kill myself over and over and
Why
over
would you
again.
try to kill
because I
yourself and
wanted
not
to be
call
with
the
them.
police?
This altar they
If
speak
your
of
wife did it.
was a homeschooling project from the week prior. That's all that was. There was
If your
no
wife
religious
killed your
seance
kids,
or anything
right?
whatsoever.
Why wouldn't you
It
call
was
the police?
nothing but a homeschooling project that made my wife
He's
happy
trying to say that
because
she
we were
hid the
talking about
phone. He
Egyptian
couldn't find
pharaoh
the phone.
and pyramids.
So he went
That's
to
all we
his
were
car
talking
and tried to
about and
charge
what they
his
bring
phone.
in the afterlife.
This is
So,
This is not helping you from this progress on, so I encourage you to.
I'm sorry.
Look at him.
I love my wife. I love my kids.
Look at
They
the
were
lawyer.
first and foremost in
He
my
telling him right
life.
now, man, you about to mess up your appeal. Even if you try to
I
get an
did
appeal,
not do this.
you know, took it to trial, you about to mess your appeal up. You
I
keep running your mouth. The
Provided for
case
my
is
wife,
over with.
provided
You've
for my
been
kids,
convicted.
did everything I could. I understand the jury came back. I understand evidence wasn't heard.
Apparently, you don't understand.
I don't remember that time, from the time I fell down the stairs to the time I woke up in the jail. I love my kids. I love my kids every day. It's only recently that I just stopped crying myself to sleep. My kids and my wife
I can't
were
believe some
everything
of
to
these
me. They
people.
were the center
They
of my universe.
killed their whole family. They
When I
killed
came
their
home,
wives.
I was shattered.
They killed their kids. And then when it comes time for them
Appreciate
to
you listening to me, sir. And I
face
know
justice,
you're in your situation.
they think they can just talk their way up
I
out
just-
of this, man. You are a
I
family
did not
annihilator.
do this.
You're not going to be able to
Thank you
talk
for
your way
listening
up
to
out
me,
of
sir.
this. You're not. You're just not going to be able to talk your way up out of this, buddy. You are a family annihilator. You killed your wife. You killed your 13-year-old son, your 10-year-old son, and I think your daughter. I think she was like 7 or something like that, right? This dude is he's off the hinges, right? Oh man, it's a horrible story. I was watching it and I seen him when he was on the stand when he was testifying when he chose to take the stand on his own behalf, which was a bad idea because as a juror, he doesn't come off as a likable guy. He comes off like very um what do I want to say like a know-it-all. You know what I mean? I don't know the correct word I want to say. It slips my mind right now. He's very arrogant. I think that's probably what I was trying to say. He's very arrogant because, man, if I would have took my wife and well, if somebody would have took my wife and kids out and I didn't do it, the emotion that I think I would display on the stand would be undeniable. You would be like, man, that dude, man, you killed my three kids and my wife. Man, and then I gotta fight. If you guys are accusing me of this, I just couldn't. I don't even know if I could even keep it together. I don't even know what kind of words I could even explain how I would feel. But like I said, man, this is a horrible case with this dude. I think his name Anthony Todd or whatever his name is, but horrible case of him just killing his whole family, annihilating his whole family. Let's get back to it and see what the judge got for him.
Any additional witness or testimony?
No, sir, Judge Harrison.
Thank you. The court has been present during the presentation of evidence throughout the entirety of the trial. A jury has unanimously determined, after listening to the evidence presented, that you, Anthony John Todt, are a destroyer of worlds, that you destroyed the world of your 4-year-old daughter, Zoe Elizabeth Todt, that you destroyed the world of your 10-year-old son, Tyler John Todt, that you destroyed the world of your 13-year-old son, Alexander John Todt, that you destroyed the world of your wife, Megan Denise Todt. The jury has unanimously determined that you murdered each of them with premeditation based on the evidence presented in this room. As to count 1, first-degree murder of Zoe Elizabeth Todt, you are sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to count 2, for the premeditated murder of your son, Alexander John Todt, you are sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to count 3, for the premeditated murder of your son, Tyler John Todt, you are sentenced to life in prison. As to count 4, for the premeditated murder of your wife, Megan Denise Todt, you are sentenced to life in prison. Not one of those lives was less valuable than the others. Those sentences will be imposed consecutively. You will be adjudicated guilty as to each count. For the murder of the family dog, you are adjudicated guilty and sentenced to the maximum sentence consecutive, which is 1 year in the county jail. You will get credit for any time that you have already served. Madam Clerk?
819 days.
Any costs will be reduced to judgment. The court will order restitution, reserve as to amount pursuant to statute. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal this judgment and sentence. If you wish to do so, you must do it in writing. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. You'll be transferred to the Department of Corrections to serve your sentence. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, defense, at this time?
No, Your Honor.
That will conclude the trial and sentencing process. The State of Florida versus Anthony John Todt has concluded.
All right, that ends this right here. Leave a comment in my comment section. Let me know if you think this fool should have got the death penalty. I think he got off kind of light, right? You done killed, you're a family annihilator. You killed your 3 kids and your wife, and in the family dog. I forgot about the dog. Let us not forget about the dog. I think they gave him a year for that, right? But yeah, this story right, these kind of guys right here, man, is what prison. I mean, they're made for a lot of things, but especially this guy right here. I think he deserves whatever he gets when he gets inside that prison. I'm not sure how they treat people like that. If there's anybody, I've never been to prison myself, so if there's anybody and listen to this in my comment section, can you tell me and leave a comment in the comment section? How would a guy like this be treated in prison? How would they treat a guy like this who killed his whole family? I mean, does he just get to go to prison and he walks around free, scot-free, and nobody bothers him? Is there anybody in the jail that be, your kids who take offense to somebody coming in there and, who killed kids? I mean, there's like a moral code to some of these gangsters. You might not believe it or not, but some of these guys who go to jail, man, they do have a code that they live by, like pedophiles, child molesters, and I'm just wondering if this guy right here falls under that category. But if anybody know, leave me a comment in my comment section. That's all I got for you guys right now. Rowdy Nation TV, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out.